onset of no one's gold age. Put it into all that's what's got. Put it into all that's what's got. Feel the onset of no one's conversation. Put it into all that's what's got. You don't want to diss the bedroom, the real one, or the wet on slang. The ghetto, you best keep your ass in check. Little motherfuckers that show respect. And what's next? The big friend taking you down. How you feel when the soft ass can't hang with the hair? Can you fancy your backs up the chocolate pie? Nobody even knows how I kick the flow. Slow down, cause you're coming up too fast. You might get smacked down cause you got no class. What what is happening, everybody? Happy Tuesday, happy Taco Tuesday. Well, what is up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another 3D Painter live stream. Yeah. I'm redoing the back of this headstock, and then I'm gonna redo the front of the headstock. We're redoing the headstock. There we go. That smudge fucked up everything, so I'm gonna go in and fix that. Won't take long at all. More than enough paint right there. We're just going for a really quick primer coat. My house is on fire, loved ones gone missing. Need help getting out of bed. Thin this up. Assholes accept fate, it's predetermined. I propose our destinies decided. Never-ending game, consequences. I'm too tired to play. What about? I don't know. You stand the game, not me. What you might. That's good. Hope everybody's having an awesome day today. I hope. In the same house, but you even know if I wasn't told, if I wasn't afraid to say what I mean. We've been here before. I've been I've been using these color shifting paints. You know, my studio's down in my garage, so I can just dump the paint out of my cup onto the garage floor. And when it dries, it looks kind of cool. You know, I got this big puddle of paint all over the place on the floor. But when I use these color shifters, my wife was like, "What the fuck is all over the floor?" And I was like, "Oh, a unicorn threw up, it looks like." She thought that was hilarious. I thought it was pretty funny. Anyhow, almost done with this guitar. Just need to paint these pickups really quick and this hardware around the body. And we'll glue the headstock on and call it good. Not much further to go, and this dude is going to be done today. I'm just putting 2 drops of reducer in my airbrush, make it nice and thin, and we're just going to spray across. All right, that's done. Set that aside and clean this color out up here real quick. So if I'm going to be away from the airbrush for a minute, but I'm going to be using it again, I just put a little bit of airbrush cleaner. You can just put water in it and then set it aside. And I'm also going to put the needle or the tip protector on there just in case I do knock it and drop it. Try to protect your needles. They're expensive. Give this a quick mix. So this is the Vallejo metal color, dark aluminum. That's what I'm going to be doing the hardware with. Stuff goes a long way, so really just a couple of drops. And then I'm going to put it in my silly putty cup holder here. Oh, I almost forgot. Shit. Don't want to do that. No, screw it. Hey, what's up, Jen? What them? All I see is a symbol and them. So what was that, Jen? Something them? I'm not sure what you were referring to. What is them? What? Who's them?
Is this really all there is? Syrup to sleep.
Oh. On my end, you have like some Japanese symbol and it says them with an exclamation mark. Weird. Probably something in my iPad settings. Like whatever you typed got translated wrong.
Too sexy, dry skin. Too much to do. Too little time.
Yeah, super weird. I have no idea.
Girl with work to do. Boy with two thorns in his side. All coughing, all the dreadful corners of the world. Chose mine. I roar.
Oh. It's going to take a minute to mix. Yeah, the blemish is gone. That was bugging the shit out of me. I think I mentioned though, this is just like a rough draft, little fun side project just to try out some paint and to paint a guitar. Two things I'm very interested in. Yeah, quick little fun project. I am going to be busting out Mara Jade today, so you'll get to see her. Probably going to get started on it today. Well, hi, Aaron. Let me turn the gain down just for you. I appreciate it. That's good to know. That should be a little better. I just turned the gain down on the mic, so shouldn't be coming through as piercing. So now I'm looking at golds for the hardware. Well, the best way to do it, I think, is just to paint one and see how the paint looks. And if I don't like it, I'll fucking paint over it. So this paint is a gold called Valdar gold, whatever Citadel. Y'all got some strange fucking names for the paint. Sounds the same. Can't help you, buddy. That's um yeah. I don't know. My music's not even that loud in the background. I don't know. Just certain songs are probably going to come through with a more tinnier pitch. I never claimed my channel was safe for people with tinnitus or ear sensitivities. So I apologize. This is a much mellower song, so this shouldn't be piercing, I hope. Yeah, 40. Yeah, the what do you call it? Warhammer paints. It's actually Games Workshop that makes everything. But yeah, Citadel Colors is I don't know how it works with that company, but their paints are incredible. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They do make some quality paints. Some of their paints fucking suck though too. Okay, that's the Valdor Gold. I want to try a Thalax Gold. This is a much brighter gold, but still a little darker in its luster. It's not super bright like the what is this Auric Armor Gold. I really like this gold. This gold's amazing, but it's really bright. I'm going to do this Thalax Gold on this pickup, and we're going to compare the two, see what we think. This one takes a couple of coats. I'm already feeling like I like the brighter gold. Or, you know, I think I just like black pickups. No, you know what, Jen? I'm not even gonna string it. I want to get on to other projects. I'm not gonna. This is just a rough draft paint job, anyways. I'm just playing around, so I don't really care to get too into it. Definitely want to explore that possibility later on. Just need to airbrush these pickups. I'm not gonna be satisfied with that. Almost looks cool just like that, but no. Not. Hey, there's Jerry. What's up, buddy? Oh, nice. Little pups. Oh, yeah. This is one of my all-time favorite punk bands right here. They're terrible, but they're amazing. Does that make sense? This is the Dicks. These guys were great. Yeah, that was cool. Hmm. Got an idea? All right, so how in the hell is everybody doing today? How are your gas prices? How are you? No, we're not going to talk about gas prices. I'm joking. Cool. All right. That's going to be black too. So I like the way that looked. Peachy, just peachy. Sounds kind of meh to me. Everybody's just peachy. I like it. Good. Okay. So quiet today. You guys all stoned or something? What the fuck? And that's totally okay if you are. I'm savvy. Oh, I've got something cool on the printer. I am currently printing the Mondo Shiwan armor from the Fifth Element. You know that scene at the beginning of the Fifth Element where the big robot looking gold colored, like, the costumes were amazing. I mean, it's Luc Besson. But yeah, I'm printing the big armored version of Lilu's character. I did one a long time ago in FDM, and always wanted to go back and do it just because it was such a killer model, and FDM is just not the same thing when it comes to detail with resin printing. So I've always wanted to go back and reprint that in resin and paint it. So it is painting. Currently printing, I mean. It's printing, and then I'm going to paint it. Yes. Holy shit. Okay, that's all. Okay. Oh, it's just, I guess it's just running really thick. Excuse me. Blah, blah, blah. I did buy new super glue, but I'm trying to use this shit up. Um, I like this DAP Rapid Fuse, but my only complaint so far is I don't like their bottles. they can improve their applicators. Nothing wrong with the bottle. It's the applicator I don't like. I don't even know why this applicator doesn't go on. I guess I probably just fucked it up. All right. Where are we at? Oh, yeah. That's too much glue. And yes, I'm gluing the neck on, which means that this guitar is complete. We are done. I am done. We are done with the Ibanez. Super fun little build. And my hat's off to the model maker of this guy. Did a great job modeling this thing. Very impressed with the craftsmanship, the skill of the modeling. I'll just step back and take a quick look at that. There we go. Sorry about all the movement there. So there it is. The Ibanez Gem by whatever the hell his name is on Cults is where I downloaded it. I'm really digging the black on the pickups with the machine heads or the hardware and everything. I'm totally cool with the silver knobs. I really like the inlay, the way the inlays came out on the neck. Really cool color shifting with some silver and bluish violet in there. And don't forget to hit the like button. But yeah, pretty cool. Thanks for hanging out in the channel. I appreciate it. Bye. Just kidding. We're not done yet. I got shit to do, things to show you. So yeah, this is done. Fun little project. There is a guitar stand out there that you can get to display these with. I don't think it was made for these guitars, but you have to mess around with the scale a little bit, I think, to make it fit these guitars. But anyways, yeah, fun little project. This guy's done. Next. Oh yeah, and I'm saving this body for another time when I do this guitar again. So we're gonna set these guys. Bring up our next picture. I know at least one person watching is really gonna like. This is a 1/4 scale figure of Mara Jade. I gotta mess around with my camera angle. This was done by Abe 3D. And this is up next on the bench. And I've got some plans that I'm going to go over with you guys. So, grab some other stuff here. She's got more parts. Okay, we've got our lightsaber, which Mara Jade's lightsaber that she's mostly known for is purple, but she did also carry a blue lightsaber at one point, and so I may do two different versions of the blade. This is already hollowed out, printed in clear. I just need to fix the tip, and we're going to cut off the bottom, run a wire with a LED tube in it, and that's going to hook up into her lightsaber here, which goes, I think this is the right gauntlet. Oh, it has to be. So it'll be like this. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate that about the guitar. A little snagglepuss on the edge of the blade there. Just trim that off real quick. So the tricky part is figuring out the wiring on this one. God, what a fantastic model. I gotta say, Abe 3D's characters, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass either. All right, I already see one piece of hair I gotta fix back here. I can see some support bumps, so I'll be going in and sanding that down really good to fix that. But overall, she's pretty well ready for paint. And it's a pretty simple paint job, but I've got some different ideas. So I want to hide a switch somewhere back here on the base. And I'm going to be running wire up her legs and through her body. And somehow I got to get it down around here and down her arm. And then this is printed solid for the most part. So I'm going to have to either have it come out of her arm. What I'm thinking is having the wire just come out of her arm here and then run along her gauntlet. Possibly along her hand and into this junction here. It's going to be tricky to drill out, but it's doable. My other course of action, I'm just going to reprint this in hollow, which is probably what I'm going to do. Just reprint it hollow. That way I can just get a wire directly through her hand and up. It's a nice angle, so I'll be able to push the wire up through here, join the wire to the LED noodle, and glue that together. And then she'll have a purple lightsaber. In fact, I could print two different versions of it, make it detachable, and yeah, no, I'm not going to complicate shit. It's too difficult to switch out the hands and shit like that. That would be fun. That would be fun. So yeah, that's the plan. Oh, got this backwards again. So she's going to make a nice little nightlight for someone. That's someone probably being me, unless somebody decides they want to buy it. Well, one thing I was thinking about doing was giving her like a gray outfit instead of black. Um, but I think I'm gonna go with black, and then she's gonna have some leather elements up here in her belt, and the gauntlets, of course, goggles, leather. Not sure about the cape yet. Um, I think keeping the cape black would be pretty cool. And then just dry brushing really fine over the top of it so it's got some texture, like a real light like a light gray, and then do it like a really deep blue over that so that it's still black but the shadows or the highlights. I don't know. I'm gonna fuck around and find out, just like I always do. The nice thing is, one thing I love about Abe's models is they come in lots of parts. Uh, Namely, I mean, if you're going to do wiring, the torsos can be a little difficult because he doesn't typically have his arms disjointed. But I like that because you don't have to worry about, fixing a seam right on her torso where you're really going to notice any kind of blemish. Yeah, so see, I gotta fix her hair right here. You can see this really clear. So we'll be sanding that down and reprimering that. But her hair also is in two different parts. So that comes off. Then her head. And then the cape. Anybody who's into 3D printing knows capes are like a 3D printer's nightmare. I got real lucky though. This one came out amazing right off the bat. Turn that off. Yeah, this one came out great right off the bat, so I'm really pleased with that. Capes are a pain in the ass to print. Torso. Abe's keys also. I mean, shit. Everything fits so nice. I literally did like very little prep. Just a teeny bit of sanding here on the joint. He did do two sets of legs too. So you can do it like this setup if you want. You'll see what I mean. These legs are actually in segments, which is great if you want to paint the boots differently or something from the pants. So there's a little variation. You could do that here as well. So there's that. Wire cape's bad because of layer shifting. Um, it's really easy to get layer shifting, when you're printing, and where a body part having a layer shift for the most part is pretty easy to fix. But on a cape, a layer shift, you can't just sand off a layer shift in a cape, really. If you have a bad layer shift in a cape, you're going to ruin that nice fine texture that's in there. You're never going to replicate that. I mean, it's really difficult. So when you print a cape, you're praying that fucker comes out perfect on the first try. And I got to give it to Abe, the way he oriented the print. with the supports coming up from the bottom. The cape was almost untouched from any support bumps or anything like that. That's the other problem, the support bumps. You don't want those bumps. You know, you don't want to have to do any sanding on the cape itself and ruin that texture that's on there, unless it's totally fucking smooth or something. But for a cape like this, with all that really fine detail in it, one fuck up, one layer shift, and you're gonna have a really bad time trying to get that to look right. So that's the pain in the ass with capes. So we'll set those pieces aside. I do a lot of my own supports as well. Well, generally do is like automatic supports, and then I'll go in and edit them or paint my own supports and delete the ones I don't want or that I don't like. And then, you know, checking for islands and all that fun stuff. It's a real pain in the ass sometimes to set up a print depending on, you know, what I'm printing. As you know, Jerry, you can spend hours. I mean, I've spent upwards of probably 20 hours on some prints just trying to get the orientation and the supports just right. So you have the least amount of prep possible. When it came to this model, I decided to, I printed everything on my own as far as supports go. And then for the cape, I, I just didn't really want to mess around with the cape. So I ended up using Abe's pre-supports, and they were fantastic. And I'm very, very happy with the results with the cape. So no worries there. Start putting some paints away, so we don't need all this shit out. We are on to the next project, which makes me happy. Right? 1/4 scale is awesome. It is so fun. Uh, I'm very fortunate. You know, I have a lot of space here in the garage. I do want to put some more shelving up for, you know, like a display shelf or two, for 1/4 scale models, because some of them are starting to build up. Now what I'm doing is just looking at the base and kind of trying to figure out how I want to do it, what I want to do with it. I'm feeling like this is volcanic with all these cracks here. There's a neat opportunity to paint some glow in these cracks to make it look like there's kind of like the ground is cracking and there's lava glowing from underneath it. I'm feeling like that would be a lot of fun to do. I thought about that. Did think about that. The problem is I'm already going to be lighting the lightsaber, and I didn't want to have two different switches in here to deal with that. Um, But yeah, and the other thing I thought about with printing it in clear like that was it would be really difficult to get the cracks correct. I mean, I would basically have to pour latex into some of these cracks and then paint over it, so that I could peel the latex out afterwards, and then have the glow coming up through that. But I yeah, that's for another go at it at some point. But for now, I can make it glow nicely with just airbrushing, and kind of the same idea with the glowing techniques I used for the blaster bolt explosions on the whatchamacallit, on Obi Wan Kenobi Rides Boga. Now, one switch to turn on both, right? I would want to separate them, I think. I just feel like it'd be kind of neat to have them separate. I mean, the build volume, I don't know, Jerry. I mean, I could explore that. I mean, I'm not gluing her in till the very end, but for now, could just go with this. Jen, you and your Palpatine duets. That's some funny shit. I mean, I did just buy nuclear resin. Nuclear resin. I mean, I'm just trying to think of colors I want to use on this right now. You want to, you will make a lit up base. That's cool, but for now, today, I'm gonna play with this one. It'd be fun to try out is to do a latex pour on this just to see how it peels out. No, it wouldn't be the same because I've already painted inside the cracks, so it won't behave the same way that resin will. Because if I'm going to print it in clear, I'm going to have to pour latex directly onto the clear and then do all my painting after that. And then that latex comes off last. And then the other trick is, where am I going to put the switch? I guess I could just hide it like right here. It's like, and that means I have to cut the whole bottom open too. I'll cut it nice and carefully though, so I can replace it or put a little hinge on it or something. I don't know. Or I could just power it by USB and just have a USB port on it, like right here. That's how I did it with Gambit when I painted Gambit's base and did the clear base. Make it a rock button. That's a good idea. I like that. I like that idea. Oh, wait, no, wrong one. No, that one's toast. Okay. Okay. Switching camera here again. So what I'm doing here, just laid down a few basic colors, and as I'm doing that, I'm adding a lot of water to the paint, brushing it over the surface to scatter it. And because the paint's watered down, it seeps into some of these cracks. And what I do is I'll take my airbrush and clean it out of those cracks. I want that paint kind of pushed out there because I want that depth in those cracks still, because we're going to do something with those later. And then what I did, you saw me take my airbrush and using that to start pushing the paint around. And when you do that, you can see how the paint was spreading out into little fingers. Those little fingers end up leaving a really neat effect on the surface. It almost tortoise shells it. I don't know if you can see that very well. And it creates veins, basically, in the stone. You can kind of see how that's working around here. And then some of the paint settles into the cracks. So it gives you a nice color variance, and it also adds what's the word I'm looking for? It almost adds like an added topography or coloration to the rock that you're trying to imitate. Because rock is, it's not uniform. It's all over the place. It does all kinds of shit. But by doing this, we're adding a lot of little extra details into that stone. And then what we can do next is add a wash to it to further. Well, I want to darken the stone up for one, so we're going to add a wash to it to do that. But that's going to leave behind these colors. It's a transparent wash. It's going to leave this color underneath it, but it's also going to darken it and add some really cool detail to the features. And then once that's dry, we're going to start dry brushing over the surface, and that's what's really going to make it pop. It's a really cool way to do stone. We could even you could even add a, like a hint of a metallic color to it, and that's going to give it kind of a glistening effect here and there, like it's made of some otherworldly substance or rock or something that we don't have on our planet. I don't know. Go where you want with that. I'm going to dry this out a little bit more. before I add some more of the wash because I know some of it's starting to blend a little bit. I really like the way Abe 3D did this base, though. There's a lot of fun detail in here that we can achieve with the stone. You know what? Oh, Jen, you're funny. Hey, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. But for now, today, for the rest of this stream, I'm going to have some fun with this. That's funny. Sometimes I need a night to think about things. I don't want to say I overthink things, but I definitely overthink things. I'm very visual, so I tend to think everything through in my head before I start doing it. What I like to do with this Nolan oil is like on certain things, I'll start off with more than I need and just let it start to kind of work its way down on its own. And then I'll push it around where it needs to be, where I feel it needs to be. For anybody maybe just tuning in or you've been hanging out for a minute wondering what the fuck I'm doing because you thought I was painting a guitar. I already painted the guitar. It's done. And I have moved on to the next project. I'll probably try to split the stream up into in post-production. And then from there, uh, retitle this half of the stream based on what I'm actually painting here. I'm not worried about getting paint on this bottom part because I'm going to end up painting a black rim around the bottom. Probably use like black 4.0 or something on it, or what do I? Muso black is what I have. Thanks for the likes, everyone. Feel free to share the channel if you know somebody that might be into this kind of shit. Totally appreciate it. Ouch. So now basically what I want to do is let this dry, and I'm going to put a flat clear coat over the stone to flatten it up, take that glossiness away. I don't want it to look glossy. I want it to look pretty flat. That's just what I want to do. You guys can do your bases and stuff like that any which way you want. And I just think this is a good way to do it. This is kind of similar to the way you see like Brent. Shout out to Brent over at Ground Affected. I take a lot of inspiration from some of the bases I've seen him do. And then I've kind of put my own little spin on it here and there. So that's another place you can see how to paint bases really well. Not saying my way is the best way to do it at all. You can do it any way you like. I just think that this looks really cool. You can play with it even further if you like. But once this is clear coated and dry and complete with all the highlights dry brushed on and everything, it's going to look really fucking cool. I promise. But the main point is when you're painting a base for one of your models, have fun with it. Like, fuck around, play with the paint, do some different things. And, you know, above all else, just have fun with it. 100%. I just want you guys to have fun. Here we go. It's starting to be a lot less tacky now. Haven't used this paint in a while, so it might need a minute to mix. If you ever get into painting models or anything, get yourself a decent little wet palette like this one. This is made by the Army Painter. It's a good one. There's other brands out there that are cheaper and whatnot. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever handies your dandies. I'm just going to take my dry brush here. Little bit of paint. And then we're going to wipe most of that off. You bastards. The more I'm sitting here doing this, the more I'm thinking like, a fucking glowing base would look really cool on this. What's the wet thingy? This is my wet palette. And just get my paint on there like this. And it helps your paint last. You don't have to use a wet palette, but I like to. Still too much paint. You've never seen a wet palette? Holy shit. I was using wet palette. Well, I made my own years ago. It's just like a sponge and a paper towel or some parchment paper if you were feeling bougie. You know, just use. I would use like a little glass or a baking sheet. You know, put paper towels down and then wet them. Wow. Yeah, they're pretty common. I mean, you weren't. I don't know. Maybe you weren't much of a model builder when you were younger. I mean, but you've made minis and stuff. What the hell is this? I don't want to listen to that. What's really nice about a wet palette is that you can, like one, you're saving a shit ton of paint, but it also helps thin your paints so you can pull your paint down or you can pull paint into it. So when you're painting miniatures and stuff, and you need your paints really thin, shit like that, you can just use that to blend. The water's already in the meat, the water's already on the surface. And that's all you need, and then you're ready to paint whatever color you mix. So it's nice to work with your gradients. Best of all, I can come back tomorrow and this paint's going to be workable. I'll be able to still play with this. So I really like that aspect of it. But when you're looking for gradients and stuff like that, you can mix right on the wet palette like that. And this paint's still going to be workable tomorrow. So I can come back tomorrow and still work out a new gradient, or keep this one going. So, that's kind of like one of the major aspects of having a wet palette that I really enjoy for when I have to, especially for when I'm doing gradients and stuff like that. Okay, so let's say you want to tone this down or add another tone to the highlight, a specific tone to the highlight. You can just go in with like another, like, let's say sepia tone or something. Show you what I mean by that here in a second. So you could take the sepia tone and just wash that right over your highlight. Instant tone change. Just by adding sepia to it. Changes the whole feeling of your highlights. And adds another hue to the stone. Or you can go darker. And this is just Agrax Earthshade. It's another wash color from Citadel. It's a real transparent color. So it's still leaving those highlights we put down, but at the same time darkening up the surface a little bit. So again, I don't know if I said this before, you're just building up layers. And if you look, you can still see the original layers down below, those colors that seemed really weird and crazy at first, but now they're starting to make sense. And then from here, you can take the thing and throw it in the trash because you're printing a clear one to make lights instead. And then you tell your subscribers to go fuck themselves. Just kidding. I love you guys. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I am going to print one in clear. But I'm going to keep this one, though. Because it is looking killer on my end. I don't know how well it's translating on camera, but it's looking really cool. Jen's happy. Yay, lights! Yeah, I never said you guys were wrong. I completely agree. I think it would look sick lit up. And then Jerry really blew it, saying, like, both lights on one switch. Like, well, I kind of wanted to separate them, but the more I thought about it, like, well, that would be a lot easier. And who fucking cares if both lights turn on at the same time? I don't. I'm calling that good. Just needs a flat coat on it. I don't want it to look glossy. No, good point, Jen. You're not wrong. Oh, have a good night, Jerry. I'm sorry I missed you, man. I was paying attention to this thing. See what I did there? The magic. You know, I think if I'm going to do the light up base, I'm actually going to print this in clear, and then I'm going to pour latex into the cracks and stuff to preserve those. That way they'll be ready for for the glow to come through. But I think just black with like real light highlights on it, and just leave it because it's real. Any colors from are going to be taken away. You know. That way, even if there's light on in the room and you turn this on, everything's going to be black except these red glowing spots where the cracks are. I think that'd be a good way to do it. All right. So now I'm just going to clear coat it with a flat clear by Krylon Fusion. Open up the garage real quick. A little breezy out today. Oops. Stop. All right. Take this off camera real quick here. There we go. I'm going to let that dry overnight. And the should dull out quite a bit by then. Oops. Now we could fix that later. Still don't have her whole body in there. Oh, that works for now. Hey, I think this base looks really good, but you guys aren't wrong. The more I think about it, I think the cooler it'll look having it like a flat black, like lava rock, printed in clear, painted in flat, glowing lava coming up through the floor. I just, yeah, the more I think about it and envision that, she'd have this neat red glow coming up from her boots, you know, from the ground, and then the purple of her lightsaber, you know, extended out. Um, Especially with the lights off and stuff, it would just look amazing. It will look amazing. Hey, what's going on, dude? Nebuchadnezzar's in the house. Good to have you. Jack 3D. Or, yeah. No, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just finished playing around with this bass for Mara Jade of Star Wars fame. And my subscribers have had the bright idea that I should paint the base in clear and add lights underneath it. Uh, I have some red LED noodles that I could put along the bottom so that the base would have, I would print it in clear, paint it black, except for where these cracks are. And then I would install the lighting inside and have like red glowing lava. I'm sure I could probably even find a light that flickers, you know, like color shifts from like red to orange and shit to make it look like lava. So I think I'm gonna go with something like that. So I'm gonna set up the other print for the base tonight for clear, and then start going down that rabbit hole. Need to clean out my little bin that I keep everything in. So this is Mara Jade, who ended up getting married to Luke Skywalker. Um, Her lightsaber is purple, and I'm gonna light that up as well. In fact, I have to go to Alipay, or not Alipay. What's the other one? Not Timu, but the other Timu. I got to go on there and order some more LED noodles because apparently it's not something you can find in the Americas on Amazon. So I got her lightsabers are already printed in clear. So I just put the LED noodle up inside there and that'll glow purple. It's a little complicated, but I like a good challenge. It'll be fun. And then just finished a guitar that I can show you. Saw that on the front of the chat for the stream here. So this is the guitar I just finished up. Used some fun color shifting paint on there. Pretty fun. Cool little side project. But yeah, I'm taking a break from Obi Wan Rides Boga so that I can do some other fun stuff. Get some figures printed and painted. I had mentioned at the beginning of the year that I was going to concentrate on doing a lot of female figures this year, and in 1/4 scale, preferably. So I'm stepping up my size range a little bit, and this is pretty much the first figure of the year, I think. You recently watched The Mandalorian. Awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so there tends to be a lot of Star Wars on my channel as far as the projects I pick to do. This is going to be one of them. And then, of course, Obi Wan Rides Boga, and then there will be more throughout the year. After this one, I'm probably going to be doing a Marvel character in the form of Storm, otherwise known as Aurora Monroe. So that's going to be a cool project. So, yeah, I got a lot of exciting things coming up. Really going to dig into it this year. And that's about it. I mean, yeah, today was pretty damn productive. Yeah, I'm going to be printing this up. I got to set that up as soon as I get upstairs into the office, get that started printing. I'm also printing Star Trek fan. Okay. I absolutely love Star Wars. I was born in 1973, so 1977 for Star Wars came out. So there's a lot of nostalgia there for me. But also, like lightsabers are just really fucking cool and awesome. So yeah, I I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Um, so yeah. And Mara Jade is one of the lesser known characters, mainly because Lucasfilm and Disney don't want her to be in canon. Um, so she's basically only featured really in Legends, which is kind of a bummer because there's a lot of story to be told between her and Luke Skywalker, and there's so much they can do with it. It's endless, but it's a lot of fun. But yeah, Mara's gonna be fun to do, and yeah, I'm gonna start printing that base out tomorrow or tonight. It's gonna start printing. I'm also printing Lilu from what do you call it? The Fifth Element. Let's see. Actually need to check progress on that. No, oh no, it's totally failed. Bummer. Well, the arms still. It looks like the head is still okay. Show you guys what a print failure looks like. So it's totally delaminated from the top there. And it looks like the character's printing okay, but I don't trust it. So I'm going to actually cancel it and start it over again before I waste too much resin. Let's see what it's looking like here as it comes up. Yeah, a lot of layer shifting in there because this piece is going to be bouncing up and down. Oh, I think my wife's home. Yep. Well, that's all, folks. I'm actually going to cut it out for the day. We'll continue tomorrow, and I'll keep you posted on what's going on. Thanks for stopping by. Toodles, and you guys have a great day. Happy 3D printing, happy painting, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.